I am Daniel Lucas, and welcome to Book 101 Review. Book 101 is all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. Very special guest, people. No other than Miss Emily Anastasia Kershak. So, Miss Emily, thank you for your time. And can you please introduce more about yourself?
Well, thank you so much for having me. And I'm the author of three children's books: Foxtails, Foxtails 2, and Wolf Tales. And we're currently writing Shelter Dogs. And I'm really excited to be chatting with you today about my purpose and what I'm trying to accomplish with these books.
Miss Emily, thank you so much for sharing your talents to the world. At young age like that, we are really inspired. So, what are your main goals in
Well,
doing this?
right now, what we're doing is we are both raising money for the Humane Society, and we are also trying to raise enough money to create a wildlife preserve that we're going to call the Happy Place.
Happy place. Wow, at the young age, you have like a 30 years old thinking. So
Thank
can you
you.
describe your writing process when you're doing this children's books?
Well, first we write the book. We get it out of my mind and onto the computer. And then we edit a little. And then the publishing house that my mom founded, we we bring it there and they do some more editing. We find an illustrator.
Yes.
Our illustrator for all three books so far is Sevda. She's a Bulgarian artist who uses homemade eco friendly paints.
Eco-friendly. Wow. You're a big contribution for climate change. As young
Thank you.
age, what do you think what's the climate change is? It's outside of the topic, but I know you know what the climate change is. So what is your uh, opinion regarding this matter?
Well, I'm a little concerned about it for all the species who are more in the Arctic area. So I know that it's making a big change in some parts of the globe, and it's really important that we all do our part to try to make small steps to try to just, even if it just helps a little, to just try to bring it down just the tiniest bit.
So do you think sooner or later you will consider climate change to be part of your children's book?
I don't know if I'm going to put it in one of my books
Yeah,
because my books are for all ages, and I really like to capture the joy and just the
no worries for others. Yes,
yeah.
for sure. So what does a typical day in your writing children's books?
Sorry, what?
What is your typical day in writing your children's books?
Well, it starts with a simple idea. You find a topic that you want to write about, or something inspires you to write. And the biggest part, I think, is getting it out of your brain onto the computer. And it's a lot harder than it sounds.
Yes,
It's like
but
a
it has.
flow that you have to get used to. And it takes us a while to get a book done, but we always eventually finish the books we're writing and send them out into the world so that people can enjoy them.
Definitely. So, Fox Tales, what inspired you to this children's book of yours?
Well, this specific children's book, my first book, was inspired when a family of foxes moved in right next to our house. And we never actually found the den, like the actual den where they live, which is good because they need that safety, that space. But we saw them every now and then, a vixen and a male fox at first, just strolling around every now and then, popping up, saying hi. Um, but then we didn't see them for a while.
Oh, wow.
And then finally, one
They come
day,
back.
we found out that the reason that we hadn't seen them was because the mother, the vixen, had had kids.
Wow. That's
And
awesome. So they bring the family at to your home.
yeah. And
That's
so
awesome.
I wanted to show the world the true elegance and how delicate nature is.
Definitely. Very well said. Emily.
Thanks.
Very well said. So for the foxtails, how did you started the outline, the outlining?
Well, it wasn't easy figuring out, like I was saying, how to get it out at first. Like, it's
Yes,
always hard, but the first time that you write, it's the hardest because you're trying to get it out of your brain, but it just won't come into the actual words that you have to say. And so you kind of have to put this picture into words. Like if you were to see a painting in a museum and you had to describe it. And
yes.
so every time it got hard, I just reminded myself that the world is back pushing nature a little, and the world needs these animals to stay alive, and we can't lose any of these exotic, beautiful species that we have right now. And so,
We need to take care of them,
yeah, exactly.
especially climate change. Sooner or later, uh, we have the responsibility that we need to take care of them so that it will last for our generations to generations to come. Your If you get married and then you have a family, your kids can see a fox, right? So what are your big challenges when you writing children's books?
Well, again, I don't know who my book is going to go to. I don't know how young or old the people who purchase them will be. And so I have to make sure it's in between all ages. Like if you were to say something that meant the same long term thing as it did short term. And so there's just these moments where I wanna describe something in the book, and I just tell myself, "No five-year-old's gonna understand that." And so I have to rethink it in a different way and then say, "That's what I would understand if I was 5."
For sure. And what would be your advice for those aspiring little ones like you?
Well, I've met a lot of very inspiring, talented young girls and boys, older girls and boys, teenagers on my podcast, and through these experiences that I've made, I've noticed that I could have every single person in the world on this podcast because we all have a different talent. And you don't have to show that through writing. You can show your talent however makes it fun, but don't do something that you want to do that isn't really what you want to do. Do what you actually want to do, not what you've seen someone do and you think, I have to be cool if I do this. I'm going to be cool if I do this. Or if your best friend does some sort of club or something that you really don't like, but the club you actually want to go to just doesn't have any of your friends on it. There's always a chance to make new friends.
Definitely. And stop procrastinating. Look,
Yeah.
Emily, what? How old are you, Emily, right now?
10 going on 11.
See, she's sharing her talents. So
Thank
why
you.
not you stop procrastinating and share your talents to the world? So Fox's Tales or Fox Tales, can you share your favorite chapter of this children book?
Well, I actually have to find the exact chapter in Foxtails, but it's in my first book. It's
Okay.
about when the foxes finally get to the. Okay, it's chapter 2, and it's
Okay.
called The Silliness of a Puppy. And it's
The
about.
silliness. Wow.
Yeah.
So
And
can you read us? Can you read to us? Sorry. Can you read to us your favorite chapter?
it might be. It's not too long, so I should be able to finish it quickly.
Yes. Even if it's too long, I'm gonna listen to you.
Looks like we're not going to be sleeping tonight, said Naya. The kits who had entered the home, seeking warm and rest, were exhausted from the endless games the resident puppy begged them to play. Why? Asked Hazel. He's a puppy. He's relentless, said Naya, nodding her nose as the always bouncing Snickerdoodle. Every time you say last game, after that game ends, he'll say, play with me. You say, this is the last game, and then he'll ask again. Snickerdoodle, Hazel said, I need to ask you something important. Where do you get your food? With a smiling face, Snickerdoodle replied, my owner gives me my food. He's usually just lying around next to the shiny big box. But the second I whimper, he says, all right, let's go for a walk. And after a walk comes food. Yum. Tail wagging, Snickerdoodle started to jump. That's it, Hazel said. Naya, let's pretend we're dogs, and the human will take us on a walk, and after the walk, he'll feed us too. Come on. You're starting to be like a Snickerdoodle. He'll recognize us. We don't look anything like dogs. And then he'll come get us into a box, and who knows what will happen to us, Naya cried. I know. Snickerdoodle. Where's the room where a human gets the food from? Asked Hazel. The feeding alley. It's next to the garage, said Snickerdoodle, still wagging his whole body. You goofy dog. We don't even know where the garage is. Can you take us there secretly? Of course, right this way. Snickerdoodle gave a tour of his leashes, bowls, and human coats on the way. And of course, the most important thing, Snickerdoodle said, this is where we keep the old human shoes. I love to chew on them. Ugh, said Naya. Dogs are disgusting. No offense. Okay, so Snickerdoodle, now that you've showed us everything in the house, can you take us to the garage? Asked Hazel, trying to be patient, but his middle was growling at him for something to eat. Oh, yeah, Snickerdoodle remembered. This is the hallway. Behind the third door is the food. But it's in a bag. I thought you would take us to the food, not near the food, Naya cried. Well, I guess that means we're playing for the rest of the day, Snickerdoodle said, and happily took an old tennis shoe in his mouth. No, 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 no way. I am not chewing on shoes, said Naya. Snickerdoodle, why do you even like to chew on those? Because they're stinky, Snickerdoodle cried. And who doesn't like to taste something stinky? I'll tell you who, us, Naya said. She bounded toward the third door, which was slightly open, and came toward the bag of dog kibble. It smelled nothing like what she was used to eating. Oh my gosh, look, Naya said. What is this thing pinching the bag? What if I pinch the other way? With a click, the bag opened, and round, hard pieces of food came spilling out. The kits peacefully feasted on the kibble that fell on the tile floor, which to the foxes tasted like the feast of a lifetime. They fell asleep, tummies full, whiskers twitching, in a pile with the puppy.
Bravo.
Thank you.
Bravo, Miss Emily. Bravo. I hope more fox tales to come or children's books to come. So what is your short-term and long-term goals in writing children's books?
Well, I know that I'm going to be writing new books in the future to keep the series going, starting new series, creating all sorts of books. But our goal that's bigger than everything is to inspire young children with life limiting and life ending diseases to write and share their talent or do whatever makes them happy and share it.
Yes, share to the world. So what do you think you want to become when you are older than 11 years old?
Well, there are a lot of things that I could be, but I'm thinking right now like a vet or a dog trainer or something like that. I love animals. We have the funniest, craziest, most goofy dog in the universe, and I just love him.
Yes, even in the Milky Way, right? So, do you think in the near future you're gonna write a book about animals?
Yeah. Actually, I told you we're writing Shelter Dogs right now. That's about our local shelter, the Little Traverse Bay Humane Society. They have a lot of dogs right now that we hope can get homes quickly, and we raised $9,000 for them at an auction where I was selling names in my book,
That'd be awesome.
and
Again,
we're actually thanks,
congratulations.
and we're taking stories of some special dogs from the Humane Society and people who have dogs that they got from the Humane Society and incorporating them into the book. So it's just a bunch of stories about these dogs.
Definitely. So, Miss Emily, what do you hope for the future?
I hope that someday people like me won't have to go to bed at night sometimes and worry that they're not going to make a big enough difference to help the earth get its natural, beautiful natural quality back.
Yes, people, let's make our earth go round for our generations to come. At the young age of Miss Emily, she's thinking about how to help other people, young kids, about animals too. So we salute you, and I hope you will continue doing this. And I hope people listening or watching us empowered and they do what you are doing right now. So, Miss Emily, can you invite our listeners to support all your children's books?
Yes. I hope that everyone who's watching, like you said, is inspired to do what they want to do. And I want to let everyone know you can make a difference from picking up a plastic bag you find in the ocean, going to my website, www.amelianastige.com, dropping a donation for the Happy Place, doing small things, doing big things, doing whatever you can to contribute to nature.
Yes, small things make difference. Even it's a baby step. If you continue doing that, baby step become big step. And again, Miss Emily, we salute you.
Thank you.
I want to, I want to, I want you to invite again to have another interview with me because I have a lot of podcasts. I have Food 101, I have Book 101 review, I have Geography 101, and what else I do have? A Law 101. See, if you are interested to be my guest to all my podcasts, I'm inviting you to come and join me to empower people all over the world. At
Thank
young
you.
age, at young age, I really salute you. And I hope you will continue doing this and be part of this beautiful earth. So,
Thank
Miss
you.
Emily, again, please invite our listeners to support all your children's books. Yeah. So, again, can you invite again our
Yeah.
listeners to please support the fox tales or all your children's books?
So you can support us by going to my website, buying a book, two books, three books, or some merch like a shirt or a tote bag or a sticker or something like that.
You have a merchandise too, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so can you share to us where they can buy your merchandise?
Yeah, that's also on my website. We do market every year in Petoskey, and
Oh, that's really awesome.
Bay
So,
Harbor, yeah.
Emily, I'm inviting you again next year because I'm still feel fully booked for this month and next month. So probably I'm inviting you again next year in the middle of March. Let's talk about
Thank
your
you.
more projects. And we salute you. We inspired and we are empowered.
Thank you.
So Miss Emily, thank you for your time.
Thank you for inviting me.
Modicam people, see you soon. Yes, I'm gonna share to you our live episode and